Stop. Take a deep breath before you continue. If you're watching this video right now, I need to warn you about something serious. You didn't get here by chance. And what I'm about to reveal to you in the next few minutes will explain everything that has been happening in your life over the past few weeks. That strange restlessness, that feeling that something big is about to happen, but you don't know what. That weight in your chest when you wake up in the middle of the night for no reason. Those numbers you've been seeing repeat everywhere. God is speaking to you, and He sent me to tell you this today. Only you are seeing this video. Out of every 10,000 people who opened YouTube this minute, the Father made you stop here, because there is an urgent message He needs to deliver to you before it's too late. And if you turn off this video now, you will lose the most important alignment of your life. Stay with me until the end, because the last revelation will change your entire next week, and the sign I will teach you to recognize will appear in the next 48 hours in the life of anyone who stays until the end. Let me ask you a few questions, and you answer me from the bottom of your heart. Have you been feeling a tiredness that isn't physical? That exhaustion where you sleep 8 hours, drink coffee, exercise, and still it's there, weighing on your soul? Have you been waking up between 3 and 4 in the morning, unable to go back to sleep, as if someone had called your name? Have you been seeing repeated numbers everywhere? On the clock, on the license plate of the car in front, on the grocery bill, on the total of the receipt, and deep down you feel it's not a coincidence. Have you been having vivid, strange dreams, sometimes with people who have passed away, sometimes with places you've never been in your life, and wake up with your heart racing? Have you been feeling alone, even when surrounded by people at the Sunday dinner table? Have you cried for no apparent reason while washing dishes, while driving, while looking out the window? Have you felt that your prayer hits the ceiling and bounces back? That you speak to God, but it seems He doesn't answer? That you work, you strive, you do everything right, you are honest, you are good to your neighbor, and yet your life gets stuck against an invisible wall that no one can see? If you answered yes to 3 of these questions, pay close attention now. Because these are not symptoms of depression. It's not an overreaction. It's not old age setting in. It's not menopause. It's not work stress. It's not the hustle and bustle of modern America. This is a calling, a serious spiritual calling direct from the throne. And you've been ignoring it without realizing, thinking it was just a phase. Your body is warning you. Your soul is screaming. And the Father has been knocking on the door for a long time, waiting for you to open. I know what you're thinking now, but I go to church, I pray, I read the Bible, I am a person of faith. And that's precisely why you are here, because the Father doesn't choose just anyone. He chooses those who have an open heart but who have not yet seen the complete truth. And the truth is this: there is a blockage in your life that no ordinary prayer will resolve. There is a spiritual siege armed specifically against you. And before you think it's paranoia, calm down, because I will prove it to you in the next few minutes. Pay attention now, because what I'm about to tell you is why you are guided here today. This restlessness you feel, this sense of being called, this weight, this is not a common emotional problem. This is a clear sign that you have received a direct calling from the Father. And what most people don't understand is that the problem you are experiencing today is just the visible layer of a much larger spiritual chessboard. There is a game happening behind the scenes of your life, and you are the main target. Every financial blockage, every relationship that fails, every door that closes in your face for no apparent reason, all of these are pieces being moved against you by forces that do not want you to awaken to your purpose. That is why the Father prepared the Holy Book for you, 21 days of prosperity and alignment with God. This Holy Book is not just a reading. It is the key that God has placed in your hands today for you to break exactly this cycle that is suffocating you from within. Inside it, you will learn the specific spiritual rules to recognize divine callings, decipher every sign you have been receiving, and most importantly, unlock the blessing that is already reserved with your name in heaven, but which is trapped because of this invisible siege. The link is in the first pinned comment on the channel right below the video. And I need to warn you, this content challenges what the system wants you to believe, and they have tried to silence this material more than once. Download it now, while it's still online, because it could be taken down at any moment. After downloading, leave a comment below writing with faith, "I am chosen and I will download the digital book." This comment is your act of faith, your seal for the Father to know that you have accepted the calling. Now that you have decided to act, the next truth I will tell you will be the final blow against the siege that keeps you trapped, because there is a specific reason why you received these signs right now, at this stage of your life, and not before. Listen carefully. There is a truth about you that no one has told you until today. You are not an ordinary person. If you were, the enemy would not waste time setting up a siege over your life. No one attacks an empty house. No one puts a guard over an empty safe. If you are feeling this weight, this spiritual resistance, it's because there is something within you that the enemy wants to keep buried at all costs. And in most cases, that something is your eternal purpose. Let me explain how the game works. Every person that God sets apart for a greater spiritual mission goes through 3 phases before fully awakening. The first phase is the phase of slumber. This is when a person lives life on autopilot, wakes up, works, eats, sleeps, and repeats. You probably lived this phase for many years. Perhaps until 35, 40 years old, you were like this, without major questioning, accepting life as it came. It is the phase of spiritual sleep, and the enemy loves this phase because he doesn't need to do anything. You yourself remain trapped in a routine that numbs you. The second phase is the phase of restlessness. This is the phase you are living now, exactly at this moment. This is when the Father begins to nudge you. He sends signs. He puts specific people in your path. He makes you wake up in the middle of the night. He makes you feel empty inside things that once satisfied you. It's as if your soul starts screaming from within. This isn't everything. There's more. There's much more. And it's in this phase that the enemy doubles down. Because he knows that if you awaken, you will become a problem for him. So he sets up a heavy siege. He blocks your finances. He plants discord in your home. He plants illness in your body. He fills you with anxiety, all to distract you, all so you don't focus on what really matters, the awakening of purpose. The third phase is the phase of alignment. And this is the phase that most people never reach in their entire lives. Because to get there, you need to make a conscious choice. You need to say yes to the calling out loud. You need to accept that you are called, chosen, set apart. And it is this choice that the enemy tries to prevent at all costs. Now I want you to look at your life over the past few months with honesty. How many times have you had a good opportunity and it fell apart out of nowhere without logical explanation? How many times have you made the right decision and yet the result was bad? How many times have you prayed for something specific and received the exact opposite of what you asked for? This is not a lack of faith on your part. This is heavy spiritual interference. And as long as you don't understand the rules of this game, you will continue to be a pawn instead of a player. There's one more thing you need to know, and this is the most frightening. The enemy does not work alone against you. There is a network of spiritual influence that connects to people close to you, and often these people don't even know they are being used against you. They can be family members, friends, co-workers, even religious leaders. They utter negative words about you without malicious intent. They doubt you when you share a dream. They laugh at your projects. They call you crazy when you talk about your spiritual visions. And each of these words turns into a spiritual chain that binds you. That's why many people who are called by God feel so alone in a crowd, because the people around them have been unconsciously co-opted to keep you in the phase of slumber. Pay attention now, because I need to tell you directly, without beating around the bush, about the only real way out for you. If you have reached this point in the video, it's because the Father already knew you needed to hear this today. This pain you are feeling, this sense of being surrounded by invisible forces, this impression that your life is stuck in a loop that has been repeating for years, all of this is confirmation that you have received the Father's calling directly. But the calling alone does not set you free. The calling is just the invitation. It is the beginning of the path. You need the right tools to walk from the phase of restlessness to the phase of alignment, and that's where most people get stuck and never leave. Because no one taught these rules. Ordinary churches don't teach them. Popular self-help books don't teach them. Spirituality podcasts don't teach them. And the reason is simple. There is a whole system built to keep you in the dark, to keep you dependent, to keep you consuming medicine, therapy, empty prayer, unfulfilled promises, while the real answer remains hidden above. And what most people never realize is that the current problem you are facing, whether financial, emotional, in relationships, in physical health, is just the visible tip of a much deeper spiritual iceberg. You are fighting against the symptom, but never against the root cause. It's like taking medicine for a fever without treating the infection that caused it. The fever returns. It always returns, because you didn't go to the root. And the root of everything you are experiencing is spiritual. It is a misalignment between you and the purpose that the Father engraved in you, even before your first breath on this earth. That is why the Father prepared the Holy Book for you, 21 days of prosperity and alignment with God. This Holy Book is not just a reading, it is the complete map, day by day, hour by hour, for you to make the transition from the phase of restlessness to the phase of alignment in exactly 21 days. 21 days, because this is the spiritual time necessary to break patterns and install a new frequency within you. It's not me saying it. It is the book itself that reveals this. Daniel fasted 21 days before receiving an answer from heaven. And what most people never knew is that there is a spiritual principle hidden in this number. And the Holy Book teaches you exactly how to apply this principle in your life today, in the United States of 2026, with all the hustle, all the monthly bills, all the pressure you feel on your skin. Inside the Holy Book, you will find specific prayers for each type of spiritual siege. You will learn to identify which people around you are being used against you, even without knowing it. You will receive declarations of faith that break generational curses, because yes, much of what you are experiencing came from your ancestors. That pattern of financial instability that passes from father to son in your family. That pattern of relationships that don't work out, that crosses generations. That illness that always returns in your lineage. That professional blockage that no one can overcome. All of this has an ancient spiritual root, and the Holy Book gives you the exact tools to cut that root once and for all, and never return. The link is in the first pinned comment on the channel, right below the video. And I need to be very honest with you now. This content is not well regarded by many people in charge. They have already tried to take it down. They have reported it several times. They have tried to silence it on various fronts. Because what is inside this holy book exposes the rules that the spiritual system does not want you to know. As long as you are in the dark, you continue to be a pawn on the chessboard. When you learn the true rules, you become a player. And the enemy much prefers you to be an unconscious pawn. So download it now, while it is still available. Tomorrow might be too late. Tomorrow the link might have been removed. Tomorrow you might have forgotten. And the Father does not like lazy chosen ones. He sent the sign. You saw the sign. Now is the exact time to respond. After downloading, do one important thing. Leave a comment below, writing with faith, writing with conviction, writing as if you were making a direct pact with the Father. Write exactly this phrase: I am chosen, and I will download the digital book. This phrase is your act of faith. It is the spiritual seal you place on your decision. It is the public testimony that you have accepted the calling. And I will tell you something. Every person who has written this phrase and downloaded the Holy Book has begun to see concrete changes in their life in less than 72 hours. Doors opening, unexpected calls, debts being resolved under conditions no one can explain, relationships healing. It's not magic, it's alignment. It's the Father recognizing your yes and releasing what was already yours by divine inheritance. Now that you have made this decision, the next truth I will tell you will be the final blow against everything that has kept you trapped until today. Because there is a specific stage of the spiritual siege that most people don't know about, and it is precisely at this stage that you are now without knowing it. Pay attention, because what comes next could be the turning point of your entire week. There is something the Father asked me to tell you directly, looking into your eyes. You are not a victim of your life. You never were. You are an heir. And an heir has an inheritance. But there is a giant difference between having an inheritance and receiving the inheritance. Many people die with their entire inheritance stored in heaven because they never learned how to access it here. And the most common reason for blocking this inheritance has a name. It has an address, it has a zip code, and it is called identity misalignment. What is identity misalignment? It's when you live a life that doesn't match what you were called to be. You were created for prosperity, but you live in scarcity because you believe deep down that you don't deserve it. You were created for leadership, but you hide because you are afraid of what others will think. You were created to teach, but you spend your life working in a job that doesn't satisfy you because you need to pay the monthly bills. Every day you live outside your calling, you unconsciously reinforce the spiritual siege over your life. Now I want you to think about something. At 35, 40, 50 years old, it's normal to look back and feel that a lot of time has been wasted. And the enemy loves when you fall into that thought because he pushes you into deep discouragement. He makes you think it's too late. That age no longer allows it. That children, marriage, job, health no longer permit change. But I need to tell you a biblical truth that many people don't share. The greatest spiritual figures in history were called after 40. Moses was 80 when he began his mission. Abraham was 75 when he left his homeland to walk towards the promise. This is not a coincidence. This is a divine pattern. The Father waits for the fruit to ripen before harvesting, and you are exactly at the right point for harvest, whatever your age now. But the harvest doesn't happen automatically. It requires conscious action. And this is where the Holy Book makes all the difference. And I will explain in detail shortly why it is different from anything you have ever read in your life. Before that, let me tell you one last truth about the spiritual siege. There are 3 entry points through which the enemy settles into your life without you realizing it. The first is the door of the Word. Every time you speak about yourself with contempt, I can't do it, I'm stupid, I always mess up, nothing works out for me, I'm unlucky. You open this door with your own hands. You sign the contract yourself. You hand over the key yourself. The second door is the door of the gaze. You receive envious glances at work, contemptuous glances from family, judgmental glances at church, pitying glances from neighbors. Each gaze carries a frequency, and when you don't have spiritual covering, these gazes settle inside you. The third door is the door of relationship. There are people in your life today who are a bridge for the enemy, not because these people are evil at heart, but because they are misaligned, and their misalignment contaminates your environment without anyone seeing it. Closing these 3 doors is the first step of true alignment, and that is exactly what the Holy Book teaches you, step by step, in the first 7 days of the journey. I need to tell you something that will shock you. If you've made it this far in the video, overcoming all distractions, it's because you are already being set apart by the Father. He has already begun the process within you. Every minute you spend watching, every sentence you absorb, every truth that lands in your heart, all of this is spiritual sowing. And what I'm about to tell you now is the most important moment of this encounter between your soul and this message. You have received a calling. This is already a done deal in heaven. And now you have 2 very clear options in front of you. The first is the option of the majority. Close this video, follow your usual routine, wait for life to improve on its own, and continue to be a pawn on the chessboard. And I want to be honest with you, without sugarcoating, this option always ends the same way. It ends in another year just like the last. It ends in another unfulfilled promise. It ends in looking in the mirror and seeing a more tired face, sadder eyes, hope more distant. It ends in dying with the Father's inheritance stored and never redeemed in this life. This is the path of those who choose comfort. And unfortunately, it is the path of the absolute majority of Americans. The second option is the path of the conscious chosen one. It is the path of those who decide to act today, now, at this exact minute, while the fire of the Spirit is still within their chest. It is the path of those who understand that the calling has a deadline. Because, yes, the divine calling has a deadline, it is not infinite. The Father calls, insists for a while, and if you don't answer, he moves on. He goes to the next. And this is not punishment, it is justice. You were invited. If you don't accept, another accepts in your place. And then you watch the blessing that was yours go into the hands of someone else. And you will look at that person's life 2-3 years from now, and you will think, it could have been me. Pay close attention to that phrase, because it is the greatest spiritual tragedy that exists. It could have been me. That is why the Father prepared the Holy Book for you. 21 days of prosperity and alignment with God. This Holy Book is not just a reading. It is the concrete answer to the calling you received. It is the yes you say back to the Father. It is the spiritual materialization of your decision. And let me explain in detail why it is different from anything you have ever seen in your life. First, it is divided into 21 sequential days, precisely chained with spiritual accuracy. Each day has a specific theme that connects to the previous one. On the first day, you break the curses declared with your own mouth throughout your life. On the second day, you close the door of the gaze and receive covering against envy. On the third day, you identify and neutralize the spiritual bridges that exist in your life through misaligned relationships. And so, day by day, until the 21st day when you officially enter the phase of alignment and divine flow over your life. Second, each day brings a specific prayer written through revelation. These are not common prayers you learned in church as a child. These are spiritual declarations constructed with exact words that operate on the invisible plane. Every word was chosen with purpose. Every sentence carries a frequency. And when you repeat these prayers at the right times, indicated within the Holy Book, you begin to move things in heaven that have been stagnant for years, decades, generations. Third, the Holy Book brings what most people have never had access to, the spiritual calendar of the 21 days. Each day of the journey has a holy, specific time when heaven is most open to receive your petitions. If you pray at the wrong time, your prayer might go through. But if you pray at the right time, your prayer is answered even before you finish speaking. And this knowledge is stored within the Holy Book at a level of depth you have never seen anywhere, neither in bookstores nor in courses. Fourth, you will learn the 3 seals of protection that need to be applied over your home, over your family, over your work, and over your health during the 21 days. Without these seals, the enemy counterattacks with fury. He feels your spiritual movement and he responds with double force. Many people begin an alignment journey without the seals, and halfway through life completely collapses. They lose their job, they fight with family, they get sick, and then they give up because they think God is abandoning them. But it's not God. It's the enemy retaliating without you having the appropriate defense. With the seals taught in the Holy Book, you walk protected, shielded, from the first to the last day, without suffering retaliation. Fifth, and perhaps most important, the Holy Book will teach you how to talk to the Father. Not the way you were taught, the real way, the way the patriarchs talked, the way Enoch talked, so much so that he was raptured without passing through death. There is a form of communication with the Father that most American Christians have never learned, and that remains hidden in partial translations. A direct, intimate, practical way. And when you learn this way, your life changes forever, because you stop praying in the dark and start praying with clear direction and immediate response. Now listen closely with full attention. The link to download the Holy Book is in the first pinned comment on the channel. Scroll down. In the first comment, you'll find the link there, and I will repeat what I've already said because this is serious. This content has already been targeted for censorship. They have tried to take it down more than once. Because the truths within this Holy Book challenge the official narrative that the system tries to push down your throat. A people aligned with the Father cannot be manipulated. A people aligned with the Father does not consume so much medicine, so much empty therapy, so many political promises, so much numbing entertainment. A people aligned with the Father is free. And freedom is precisely what the system does not want. Therefore, if you are seeing the link still active in the first comment, consider this a window from heaven, a window that could close tomorrow, a window that could close tonight. Never put off what the Father tells you to do now. Obedience has a time, and the time is now. Comment, if you understand what I'm saying, right below, I understood, Father. Leave that seal here. After downloading, do one thing that will spiritually seal your decision. Go to the comments and write with conviction, I am chosen, and I will download the digital book. Write with faith. Write as if you were planting a flag in the ground, because that's what you're doing. You are marking spiritual territory. You are telling all of heaven, I'm in, I've accepted, I'm going all the way. Now that you know the way, now that you understand the urgency, now that your decision is made, I will tell you the next truth. And this is the one that was missing to complete your understanding. Because there is a revelation about your calling that has not yet been told, and it will explain why precisely now, precisely at this stage of your life, the Father is calling you with such intensity. Listen with your heart now, because I'm going to tell you something few have ever heard. There is a thing called a generational window. Every family has a generational window. It is a period within the history of your lineage when the Father releases a specific blessing for one of the family members. This blessing floats in the spiritual plane, waiting for someone to accept it. And if no one accepts it, it passes to the next generation. And then to the next. Until someone, at some point in your family's history, awakens to the calling and finally receives what has been stored for decades or centuries. You are that person. In your family, you are the chosen one of this generation, not the most talented, not the most beautiful, not the one who had the most education, not the most financially successful. It is you. For a reason only the Father fully knows. Perhaps because you suffered the most, perhaps because you prayed the most in silence, perhaps because you had the most open heart to receive. The exact reason doesn't matter. What matters is that the blessing that passed through the generations of your family, which perhaps no one managed to anchor, is now landing on you with full force. And that's why the spiritual siege is so intense in your life now. The enemy knows that if you accept this blessing, you won't just free yourself. You will free your entire lineage retrospectively. Your children and grandchildren will reap the fruit of your alignment. Your parents, even those who have passed on, receive spiritual elevation through your awakening. The entire family chain transforms in a single generation, and the enemy knows this better than anyone. That's why he's playing hard against you. That's why things are so difficult. That's why you feel this weight that seems greater than you. But I need to remind you of one thing. You are not alone in this. The Father does not call without equipping. He does not summon without providing the tools. And the tools he placed inside the Holy Book. Now the moment has come. This is the decisive moment. There will not be another like it. If you are feeling warmth in your chest as you hear this, if you are feeling tears rising, if you are feeling that shiver run through your body, this is not fleeting emotion. It is not suggestion. This is direct spiritual confirmation. It is the Father sealing within you that what you are hearing is true. And now he is awaiting your answer out loud and in concrete action. I want to talk to you as a friend, as a brother or sister in faith, without beating around the bush, without empty pressure, just raw truth. Because you have lived long enough on earth to know when someone is selling you something for money and when someone is offering you something for your soul. And I need to tell you that this conversation here is not about money. It was never about money. The Holy Book costs almost nothing compared to what it delivers in the lives of those who apply it. The symbolic value it has is just enough to keep this work online, to pay for the server where it is hosted, to fund the production of these videos that continue to reach brothers and sisters in need across the United States, from coast to coast. If it depended on me, it would be totally free. But the Father taught me that what is completely free, people do not value. There needs to be a symbolic anchor so that the person understands they are receiving something of value. And the real value of the Holy Book is infinitely greater than the symbolic price it asks for access. Let me ask you a serious question, looking into your soul. How much have you spent in the last 5 years trying to solve what is suffocating you today? Calculate with me now. How many doctor's appointments? How many controlled black label medications? How many therapy sessions that led nowhere? How many online courses that promised change and delivered absolutely nothing? How many charms, baths, crystals, magical roadside altars that only took your money and your peace? How many tithes and offerings in churches where the pastor bought a new car but your life remained exactly the same or worse? Do an honest sum. It's likely to exceed $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 spent over the years in attempts to solve what only the Father can truly solve when you access him in the right way. And the Holy Book is here today now, available for a symbolic amount that is nowhere near any of that. because the Father does not want his inheritance to be inaccessible to his children. He wants every American brother or sister, living in any city, from any social class, to have complete access. A retiree from a small town, a freelancer from a major city, a homemaker from a working-class neighborhood, an ordinary factory worker. Everyone can do it. You just need to want it with your heart. The link is in the first pinned comment on the channel. Go there now before the video continues. Let me wait for you. Go, scroll down, click on the first comment, copy the link, open it in a browser, and download the Holy Book right now. I'll wait, no problem. Wait, no. If you did, congratulations, you have already changed the course of your week. If you haven't yet, pay attention to what I'm about to say, because it's serious. There is a thing called spiritual procrastination. It's when you receive a clear sign, understand the sign, know deep down that you need to act, but keep putting it off for convenience. I'll do it later. I'll sort it out tomorrow. I'll look at it calmly on the weekend. And every time you put it off, you reinforce a dangerous spiritual pattern within you. You teach your subconscious that saying yes to the Father can wait, and the Father does not work with later, he works with now. Today, if you hear his voice, do not harden your hearts. This is in the Bible, in the book of Hebrews. It's not my invention. It's living word. And the word is telling you now, today, at this exact minute, to act without delay. I've seen so many people lose so many blessings due to spiritual procrastination. People who had everything to be blessed, but who kept waiting for the right moment. And the right moment is the moment the Father indicates. There will never be a more convenient time. There will never be extra money in the account. There will never be fewer distractions around. If you wait for perfect conditions, you will wait your whole life and die waiting. Perfect conditions do not exist in this world. There is the decision, and the decision has to be now. Let me tell you a few more specific things that are inside the Holy Book, so you understand the magnitude of what you are about to receive. In the first chapter, you receive the complete map of the 7 main spiritual blockages that affect Americans over 35, adapted to our cultural reality. Each blockage has a characteristic sign. Each blockage has a specific root. And each blockage has a breaking prayer that works when done the right way at the right time. You will do a simple self-assessment in the first few pages and discover which blockages are active in your life now. This alone is worth much more than the symbolic price the book has today. In the second chapter, you learn the 3 spiritual laws of true divine prosperity. And I need to be very clear about this. It is not prosperity from prosperity theology, that empty, declare it, and you'll get rich thing. It is real prosperity, based on eternal principles that the Father himself revealed in the Scriptures, and that great men of faith applied in practice. Abraham applied it, Isaac applied it, Job applied it after complete restoration. And the Holy Book breaks down these principles in a way that anyone can understand and apply today, in their daily life, in their finances, in their work. In the third chapter, you enter the protocols of domestic spiritual warfare. Most people don't know this, but your home is an active spiritual field. There are spiritual entrances in every room. The front door has a specific spiritual function. The kitchen has a completely different one. The master bedroom has an even more delicate one. And there are words, gestures, and actions that activate or deactivate protection over each room. The Holy Book teaches you how to shield your home in detail, room by room, day by day, week by week. And the results begin to appear quickly. Arguments at home decrease, sleep improves, the atmosphere becomes lighter to breathe, children stop crying for no reason, pets stop being agitated at night. This is not magic. This is spiritual order restored within the home. In the fourth chapter, you learn the 11 declarations of identity that need to be proclaimed aloud during the 21 days, always at the indicated right times. Each declaration recomposes a part of your divine identity that was broken throughout your life. It's as if you had shattered over the years, pieces lost through a difficult childhood, a toxic past relationship, a humiliating job, a church that hurt you instead of embracing you, words from your parents that marked you without them realizing it. And now, one by one, you will put the pieces back in the right place. On the 21st day, You are no longer the same person. You look in the mirror and see a different sparkle in your eyes. You see a different posture in your body. You see a different frequency in your soul. In the 5th chapter, and this is the most impressive one, you learn the secret of the 90-degree shield. This is an ancient spiritual technique, transmitted from generation to generation within priestly lineages, which was lost for a long time and which now for the first time is being shared with ordinary people through the Holy Book. This shield, when activated correctly, causes any negative word, envious gaze or malicious intention directed at you to be reflected back to its origin. It is not vengeance, it is spiritual law, and when you learn to activate this shield, you walk through life in complete serenity, because you know that nothing that comes against you will penetrate. In the 6th chapter, you have access to the calendar for the 90 days after the initial journey. This is pure gold. After the 21 days of the book, there is a map for the following 90 days where the alignment continues to consolidate within you. And each week of these 90 days has a specific spiritual practice to keep the divine flow active. This is what ensures that you don't return to square one after a month. Many people go on a spiritual retreat, and after 30 days everything is the same because there is no maintenance. The Holy Book gives you complete maintenance for 3 full months. And there are also the appendices. 3 powerful appendices. The first appendix is the manual of 33 emergency prayers. Those prayers for critical moments, when you receive bad news in the middle of the day, when a child is in danger, when a medical exam shows suspicion, when a debt becomes too heavy, when an argument at home explodes out of nowhere. Each situation has a specific prayer with an immediate effect when done with faith. The second appendix is the booklet of operative psalms, those psalms with a specific spiritual function that ancient rabbis taught and that almost no one knows anymore in the United States today. The third appendix is the Guide to Directed Fasts, which teaches short and specific fasts for specific issues you need to resolve quickly. Do you understand the magnitude of what is available to you now, at this minute? And the link is in the first pinned comment on the channel. I repeat it on purpose. I repeat it because I need you to engrave it within you. It's in the first pinned comment. Scroll down, click on the comment, get the link, download it now without thinking twice. Now I need to tell you about the testimonials. Every day I receive messages from brothers and sisters who have downloaded the Holy Book and who are seeing concrete changes in their lives. I won't tell you intimate details because I don't like to expose other people's lives, but I can tell you the categories. I receive reports of unexpected debt repayment within 21 days. I receive reports of marriages restored after years of severe crisis. I receive reports of new jobs that appeared out of nowhere, without an interview, through a referral from someone not seen in years. I receive reports of addiction that was broken without therapy, without support groups, solely based on daily alignment. I receive reports of illness that vanished from follow-up exams, to the doctor's astonishment. I receive reports of rebellious children who returned home repentant, crying on their father's shoulder. And these are not isolated, hand-picked cases. This is the pattern. This is what happens when a person truly aligns with the Father. And if you are the type who is thinking, "Oh, but will it work for me? Do I deserve it?" Pay attention now. Doubt is also a trap of the enemy. He plants doubt in the heart of those who are about to receive, to make the person retreat at the last moment. It's as if you were in front of the greatest gift of your life, and the enemy whispered in your ear, "Better not open it. It might be a trap. You're not good enough." Don't listen to him. Listen to the Father. The Father has already spoken. You received the clearest sign, now it's just a decision on your part. Let me make you one last serious offer. If you download now, if you comment now, I am chosen and I will download the digital book, and if you start the first day of the journey today, in 21 days, exactly 21 days, you will come back to this video and read your own comment below. And you will remember this night, this afternoon, this moment when you made the decision, and you will look at your current life and see that you are no longer the same person. You will not recognize who you were 21 days ago. This is not an empty salesman's promise. This is spiritual law, a law that always works when applied with faith. And if, by chance, you reach the 21st day and have seen no change, which I am almost certain will not happen, you contact me. Write in the comments, send me a message, because the Father does not let his children be ashamed. He never has, he never will. If you do your part with faith, he does his part with abundance. So that's it. It's now go there, download the Holy Book, comment the phrase of faith, start the first day today, and prepare your heart for everything that is coming into your life. Because good things are coming. Many good things. Things you haven't seen in years, perhaps things you have never seen. And now to close this sacred encounter you had today, I want to give you the last revelation, the one that was kept until the end. Pay full attention, because this will happen to you in the next 48 hours if you apply everything you heard here. You will receive a specific sign from the Father confirming that your decision was accepted in heaven. This sign can come in 3 forms. The first is through a number that will appear 3 times consecutively in your day, in different contexts without you looking for it. It could be 21, it could be 3, it could be 7, it could be 40. If it happens, it is confirmation. The second form is through a person you haven't seen in a long time contacting you out of nowhere for no apparent reason. It is the Father using that person as a messenger. The third form is through a vivid dream in the next 2 nights, with a feeling of peace upon waking. It is the final seal of alignment. When any of these 3 signs arrive, you will know that everything said here is true. And you will also know that the generational blessing that passed through the generations of your family has finally found a home. It found you. And through you, it will overflow to yours, to those near, and to those who will come. If you haven't downloaded yet, this is the last call. The link is in the first pinned comment on the channel. The Holy Book, 21 Days of Prosperity and Alignment with God, is waiting for you. Comment now, I am chosen, and I will download the digital book. Like this video so that it reaches more brothers and sisters who need this same word. Subscribe to the channel and activate the bell, because the next revelations will be even stronger, and the Father will continue to use this space to reach those who need it. God bless you today, cover you tomorrow, and align you forever. May the peace of the Father descend upon your home from this minute forward. And always remember, you were chosen. Only you are seeing this, and now you know what to do. We'll see you in the next video on the other side of your new life.